The story begins with a 7-year-old little girl named Chloe, who has spent her entire life locked inside a hidden house. She has never truly seen the outside world even once, but now, little by little, questions start growing inside her mind about what could possibly exist outside this house that her father keeps her away from all the time. Whenever Chloe tries to look outside through the window, her father, Henry, immediately scolds her. He fears that if anyone ever sees Chloe, something terrible could happen. Every time Henry leaves the house, he carefully repeats a set of important rules to his daughter if he ever doesn't come back, what Chloe should do, and how she must stay hidden. He has already taught her everything very clearly. One night, the two are eating dinner while playing a card game together. Suddenly, Chloe notices blood starting to drip from her father's eyes. Seeing this terrifies her. Henry tells her that this problem has been happening to him for a long time. Then he warns his daughter that if blood ever comes out of her eyes, too, she must tell him immediately. That same night, Chloe asks her father about a mountain. The moment he hears this, Henry becomes suspicious that his daughter has secretly been reading newspapers. In anger, he burns every piece of news connected to the outside world, so Chloe can never learn the truth. Late at night, Chloe suddenly wakes up after hearing a strange noise. Nervously, she steps out of her room, but the moment she opens the door, she sees a mysterious woman standing there screaming loudly. Terrified, Chloe curls up in a corner and waits for the woman to disappear. After some time, she picks up a pen and starts drawing pictures. The next day, she tells her father everything that happened, but when Henry goes into the room to check, nobody is there. The following morning, Chloe finds a book placed near her door, left behind by some unknown person. She quickly runs to her room and begins reading it. Just then, the sound of an ice cream truck echoes outside. Peeking through the window, Chloe sees her neighbor, Harper, for the very first time. At that exact moment, Chloe quietly wishes in her heart that Harper would give her some ice cream. And strangely, only a few seconds later, someone knocks on the door. Just as Chloe goes to open it, Henry suddenly steps in front of her. Shocked, he asks how Harper even knows Chloe's name. A moment later, Harper's mother, Nancy, also arrives there. After looking at Chloe, she says that the girl looks completely normal. Hearing this instantly makes Henry panic. He quickly shuts the door. Now he starts believing that Chloe has secretly been going outside. In anger, he punishes his daughter and locks her inside a dark closet of the house. That night, Chloe is quietly playing with a small toy ice cream truck she made with her own hands. But suddenly, something very strange happens. In just a single moment, she somehow reaches Harper's room and falls asleep right beside her. The next morning, Henry apologizes to his daughter for getting angry the previous night. Just then, Chloe stubbornly insists that she wants to eat ice cream. After trying hard to convince her otherwise, Henry finally agrees to go outside. Several hours later, when he returns home, his clothes are covered in blood and he is holding a gun in his hand. He quickly shuts the door and says that someone attacked him. But Chloe only cares about her ice cream. She tells him that if he cannot bring it for her, then she will go and get it herself. While Chloe is wrapping a bandage around his wound, Henry suddenly collapses unconscious. At that exact moment, it feels as if frozen time begins moving once again. The lights inside the house switch on by themselves and water starts dripping from the sink. The moment Henry passes out, Chloe takes the opportunity to open the house safe. After taking some money from inside, she steps out of the house alone for the very first time. As Chloe walks down the stairs, she touches plants and trees for the first time in her life. The happiness in her eyes becomes clearly visible after seeing the outside world. Just then, she notices the same ice cream truck standing nearby. When the ice cream seller, Mr. Allen, sees the $100 bill in Chloe's hand, he smiles and says that with that much money, she can eat as much ice cream as she wants. Then, cleverly, he convinces Chloe to sit inside his truck. On the way, Chloe experiences the real world closely for the very first time. Kids are riding bicycles, people are walking their dogs. Everything looks completely normal. But then, Chloe notices a warning sign nearby. It says that people whose eyes bleed are extremely dangerous. Seeing this frightens her. After some time, both of them arrive at a city park. There, Mr. Allen slowly starts asking Chloe questions. He wants to know if blood has ever come out of her eyes and whether she has any special powers. But Chloe tells him that she is just a normal little girl. That's when she learns that her mother was once very famous because she possessed mysterious abilities. During this conversation, a police officer suddenly arrives there. He asks Chloe whether she knows this old man. Chloe immediately says no. To handle the situation, Allen lies and claims that Chloe is his granddaughter. Then he frightens the girl by saying that policemen just like him were the ones who killed her mother. Now Chloe begins believing that the police officer is the real danger. Out of fear, Chloe tells the officer to leave the place, and surprisingly, the officer silently turns around and walks away immediately. At that moment, Mr. Allen realizes that Chloe truly is not an ordinary little girl. She also carries special powers inside her. After this, he decides to take Chloe back to her house. On the way, Chloe notices a photograph photograph hanging near the ice cream truck. The picture belongs to her mother. That is when she discovers that Mr. Allen is not a stranger at all, but actually her real grandfather. Before reaching the house, Allen gives Chloe a photo of his daughter, meaning her mother. Then he gives her a dangerous piece of advice. He tells her that the next time she hears the sound of the ice cream truck, she should mix sleeping medicine into her father's food. A few hours later, Henry regains consciousness. As he wakes up, time freezes once again. After not seeing his daughter inside the house, he becomes completely terrified and rushes outside searching for her. But after some time, when he sees Chloe sitting in her room drawing pictures, he finally feels relieved. At that very moment, he understands that Chloe had already left the house. Now Chloe also begins realizing that her father has been hiding many secrets from her. Filled with anger, she stands against Henry for the very first time, screaming at him. She says that she hates him, and that her biggest dream was simply to have a mother who would lovingly take care of her. That night, Chloe is carefully looking at the photograph given to her by her grandfather. Suddenly, she realizes that the terrifying woman she saw inside the closet was not a ghost, but actually her mother, Mary. The moment Mary sees Chloe, a faint smile appears on her face. But in the very next second, she realizes that her daughter is not truly there. She starts screaming loudly and begs her captors to set her free. Seeing all this terrifies Chloe, and she runs back to her room. But when she gathers the courage to check again, the woman has already disappeared. A frightened Chloe goes downstairs to tell her father everything. But after reaching there, she sees Henry sleeping deeply. Just then, her attention goes toward a news report playing on the television. Wearing Henry's headphones, she carefully starts listening to it. On the TV, a woman named Agent Ray is speaking. She explains that there are certain people in the world who possess mysterious powers. People call them freaks. The government has given these people a place called Matic Mountain, where they can live peacefully. But any freaks secretly hiding inside cities are considered criminals. The reporter also says that the children of freaks develop powers even more dangerous than their parents. Because of this, he believes such children should be eliminated for the safety of the country. However, Agent Ray does not agree with him. She believes that if trained properly, a child with superpowers could become the strongest weapon in the entire nation. That night, Chloe is playing alone inside her room, but suddenly, her power activates once again, and she instantly appears inside Harper's bedroom. At that moment, Harper is having a sleepover party with her friends. Seeing an unknown girl suddenly appear in the room scares everyone. Harper angrily tells Chloe to leave immediately. Slowly, the other kids also start looking at her strangely, and soon they all begin mocking her by calling her a freak. Hearing this terrifies Chloe. Trying to hide herself, she quickly opens the closet door inside the room. But the moment she steps inside, she once again finds herself in front of her mother, Mary. This time, Mary is seen chained up in captivity. Chloe slowly walks toward her and tries to calm her down, but Mary thinks she is seeing some kind of dream or illusion. So she tells Chloe to run away from there. Then suddenly she feels someone touching her arm. The moment she realizes that it is truly her daughter, she immediately hugs Chloe tightly. Now Mary understands that Chloe has inherited superpowers just like her, but sadly, she is still trapped in captivity, which means she cannot return home with her daughter. The next morning, Chloe makes a big decision. She feels that if her real mother cannot stay with her, then she will live with Nancy instead, so she can finally experience love. But just as she tries to leave the house, Henry stops her. Filled with anger and sadness, Chloe secretly begins wishing that her father would disappear from her life forever. Henry hears her words. In a painful voice, he says that one day his enemies truly will kill him, and Chloe will be left all alone. And on that day, she will deeply regret making such a wish. After some time, Chloe pretends that she has realized her mistake. Secretly, she mixes sleeping medicine into her father's juice and hands it to him while apologizing. But Henry notices something strange in the drink. He instantly realizes that his daughter has betrayed him. Furious, he starts yelling at Chloe. That is when Chloe fearfully uses her power and screams, "Go to sleep!" The moment Henry hears her voice, he instantly falls into a deep sleep. But at that same moment, blood starts flowing from Chloe's eyes. Now her powers have become even stronger than before. Taking the opportunity, Chloe grabs a large amount of money from the safe and runs away from the house. The moment she reaches the street outside, she meets her grandfather, Mr. Allen, once again. Gently, he wipes the blood flowing from her eyes. When Allen learns that Chloe is going to Nancy's house so she can make her new mother, he stops her. Then he tells Chloe that if she truly wants to meet her real mother, she will have to come with him. To hide his identity, Mr. Allen disguises himself as a priest and arrives at a bakery where Agent Ray is having breakfast. The moment he gets the chance, he speaks to her privately. Alan says that both of them share the same dream, and he wants Chloe to safely reach Matic Mountain. Then he tells her a fake story. He claims that 7 years ago, a newborn baby girl was found outside his church with a letter asking him to keep her safe. Alan says he immediately understood that the child was probably a freak, so he raised her himself. But suddenly, Chloe interrupts her grandfather's story. She reveals the truth that it was actually her father who raised her. The moment Chloe hears the word freak being used for her, she becomes furious. Her biggest dream was to live like a normal little girl, which is why she never wanted to accept her powers at all. In anger, she tries to run away from there. Alan immediately chases after her, but then he realizes that a cook standing nearby has overheard their entire conversation. To protect his identity, Alan suddenly grabs a pen and stabs it directly into the man's eyes. Hearing the cook's painful screams, Agent Ray and her team instantly pull out their guns. As the terrified cook runs outside asking for help, the agents mistake him for a threat and shoot him dead. The moment the gunshots echo through the building, Alan uses his power and turns himself invisible. Using this ability, he escapes from there together with Chloe. While driving the ice cream truck, Alan is extremely angry. He feels that he has lost the biggest chance to save his daughter. In reality, he wanted Agent Ray herself to take Chloe to Matic Mountain, even though Alan knew that place was not a safe home, but actually a prison created for freaks because his daughter was trapped there too. He was willing to do anything to reach that place. On the other side, Chloe starts believing that her real mother is probably no longer alive. That is why she insists that her grandfather take her back home. Her plan was to give Nancy the money she stole from her father's safe, so Nancy would agree to adopt her. But just as Alan is about to stop the truck, Henry suddenly appears standing in the middle of the road. The moment Chloe sees her father, she immediately jumps out of the truck and runs toward him. Using his power, Henry sends Alan and his truck to another location. Then he starts taking Chloe back home with him, but Chloe no longer wants to stay with him anymore. Using her power, she commands Henry to let her go, and the moment she gets the chance, she runs straight toward Nancy's house. While running toward Nancy's house, Chloe suddenly reaches the middle of the road. At that exact moment, a speeding car rushes straight toward her, and she is almost about to die. But in the final second, Henry uses his power. He slows down time itself and instantly pulls Chloe away from the road. Seeing this leaves Chloe completely shocked. Now she realizes that her father is not an ordinary man either. He also possesses superpowers. Henry finally tells his daughter the truth. He explains that he created a time bubble around the entire house. Because of this power, time moved extremely slowly inside the house. But this ability also had one weakness. The bubble only worked as long as Henry stayed awake. Henry reveals that for the outside world, Chloe's mother died only 2 months ago. But while living inside the time bubble, 7 entire years had passed for Chloe and Henry. Now Henry realizes that by hiding his daughter from the world, he completely ruined her life. That is why he decides to let Nancy and Steve adopt Chloe. The moment Steve sees the bag filled with money, he immediately invites them inside the house. In reality, many years earlier, Henry had made a deal with his neighbors. If he ever disappeared, they would take care of Chloe in exchange for a huge amount of money. But because of the time bubble, for Nancy and Steve, this agreement was only 1 month old. They had not even told their daughter Harper yet that she would soon be getting a new sister. So when Harper learns that Chloe is going to live with them, she becomes furious. She does not want a freak becoming part of her family. Things become even worse when Nancy finds out that Chloe secretly appears inside Harper's room at night and frightens her. Now Nancy says that she needs more time to think about the adoption. Hearing this makes Chloe panic. She uses her power to control Nancy's mind and forces her to say that she loves her. But a few minutes later, Nancy realizes that Chloe entered her mind and manipulated her against her will. Filled with fear and anger, she immediately throws Henry and Chloe out of her house. Now Chloe's dream of finding a mother is completely shattered. At the same time, Henry notices blood coming out of his daughter's eyes once again. Her powers had now fully awakened. Henry quickly takes her back home and as a precaution locks her inside the closet. After this, he goes to meet Mr. Allen and angrily starts questioning him. Meanwhile, inside the closet, Chloe sees her mother Mary once again. Because Chloe still believes her mother is dead, she continues thinking she is only a ghost. But suddenly, the prison door behind Mary opens and a guard forcefully drags her outside. Hearing her mother's painful screams, Chloe realizes that Mary is actually alive and trapped inside some kind of prison. Terrified, Chloe immediately tries to tell her father everything, but Henry refuses to believe his daughter's words. He thinks Chloe is only seeing hallucinations. That is why he starts sealing the closet door even tighter so Chloe cannot escape again. Now, Chloe's anger completely explodes. She threatens her father that if he does not let her out, she will kill him herself. Using her power, she forces Henry to point a screwdriver at his own body. In that moment, Henry realizes realizes that his daughter's abilities are now completely beyond his control. So, he finally opens the door, but because Chloe used her powers far too much, blood suddenly starts pouring from her mouth and she collapses unconscious. Panicked, Henry carries her into the living room and asks Mr. Allen to help her. After regaining consciousness, Chloe explains that she really saw her mother, but Henry still refuses to believe it and continues thinking that Mary is dead. That is when Allen decides to reveal the truth. He admits that some time ago, he discovered that Mary was actually still alive and being held captive somewhere in the mountains. Hearing this instantly fills Henry with rage. He accuses Allen of being the reason Mary went on that dangerous mission, the same mission she never returned from. Now, Henry starts making a plan to rescue his wife. At the same time, Chloe looks outside the window and realizes that Nancy has called the police. Using her power, she lets her father hear the conversation happening outside. The police are saying that if the freaks inside the house resist, they will be shot immediately. But if they cooperate peacefully, they will be taken prisoner and sent to Maddock Mountain. To save her father and grandfather, Chloe enters the mind of one of the police officers. She forces him to grab a pen and stab it into Nancy's eye. After that, Chloe orders the officer to shoot himself as well. But at the very last second, Henry stops her. Meanwhile, after hearing Nancy's painful screams, the other police officers mistake her for the threat and shoot her dead right outside her own house. Amid all the chaos spreading everywhere, Allen uses his power to turn invisible and tries to capture Chloe. But Chloe somehow escapes from his hands and runs straight into her room. The moment she grabs her mother's photograph, her power suddenly activates and she finds herself inside a room hidden deep within the mountains. There, her mother Mary is tied to a stretcher. A few moments later, Henry also arrives there. Seeing his wife alive leaves him completely shocked. Just then, a scientist walks toward Mary. Henry instantly tries to shoot the man, but the bullet cannot even touch him. In reality, only Mary could see Chloe and Henry inside that room. For everyone else, they did not exist there at all. Crying in pain, Mary apologizes to her daughter for not being part of her childhood. At the same moment, a doctor is about to inject a dangerous substance into Mary's neck, but Chloe uses her power and forces the doctor to inject himself instead. After this, Chloe orders a guard to free her mother immediately. Mary is just preparing to escape from there when suddenly, in the real world, someone begins knocking on the door. Henry instantly freezes time. After looking outside, he realizes that Agent Ray is standing at the door. Understanding the danger, he immediately warns Chloe so they can escape before it is too late. But Chloe still needs a little more time to free her mother from the prison hidden in the mountains, so she tells her father to somehow keep Agent Ray distracted. Henry quickly wipes the blood from around his eyes and restores time back to normal. After that, he opens the door and goes to speak with Agent Ray, but Ray recognizes him immediately. She clearly warns him that if Henry tries to kill her, her team will launch missiles and destroy the entire house. After this, Ray offers Henry another option. She says that if he hands Chloe over to the authorities, his daughter might still survive, but in return, Henry will have to sacrifice his own life. Just then, Mr. Allen suddenly appears there and secretly steals Ray's gun. The moment Ray realizes a gun is pointed at her head, she nervously tries to negotiate. She tells Allen that he should make the right decision for his granddaughter's future. Meanwhile, Chloe uses her powers to control the mind of a guard named Robert and guides her mother toward the prison exit. Just as another guard is about to discover Mary escaping, Chloe forces someone to attack him, but within moments, alarms begin ringing throughout the entire prison. Taking advantage of all the chaos, Agent Ray manages to grab her gun back. She immediately fires at Henry. Henry tries to stop the bullet with his powers, but he still gets badly wounded. Seeing the danger growing worse, Allen uses his invisibility power and tries to escape from there. At the same time, Agent Ray walks directly toward Chloe. The moment Ray discovers that Chloe is helping her mother escape, she decides to kill her, but suddenly, Allen steps in front of his granddaughter to protect her and sacrifices his own life after taking the bullet himself. Watching her grandfather die completely breaks Chloe. Filled with rage, she uses her power to force Ray to shoot herself. After this, Chloe desperately tries to save her grandfather, but Allen dies while holding the photograph of his daughter in his hand. Even in his badly injured condition, the first thing Henry checks is whether his daughter is safe or not. Then he tells Chloe that she must help her mother while he stays behind to stop the agents. Henry uses Ray's radio to contact the military and lies that Agent Ray has been taken hostage, but an officer named Reese refuses to believe him. He thinks Ray is already dead, so he refuses to stop the attack. Now, Henry uses his powers one final time. He freezes time and attacks the police officers standing outside. The moment time starts moving again, Reese sees his men dying around him. He instantly orders the drone to launch a missile at the house. Meanwhile, Mary has finally escaped from the prison with her daughter's help. Using her powers, Chloe had stopped every guard trying to capture Mary. Mary. But because of constantly using her abilities, Chloe has now become extremely weak. She comes downstairs and sees her father lying on the ground covered in blood. At that same moment, she hears her mother calling for help. Chloe once again controls the minds of the soldiers and forces them to open the prison gates. The moment Mary becomes free, she uses her flying power and rushes toward her daughter at full speed. But just then, the military launches a missile at the house. Even while being close to death, Henry gathers his strength one final time. He bends time itself and somehow moves his daughter away from the explosion. Both of them barely survive the massive blast. Chloe tries to lift her father up, but Henry has already lost far too much blood. In his final moments, he smiles and tells Chloe that he is proud of her because she managed to save Mary's life. After this, Henry closes his eyes forever. Hidden beneath the wreckage, Chloe suddenly sees her mother running toward her. Using her powers, Mary kills the soldiers chasing after her daughter. Then she rushes forward and hugs Chloe tightly. Seeing her husband's dead body leaves Mary heartbroken. She promises Chloe that from now on, she will always protect her. And with this, the mother and daughter leave together in search of a new life and a new home. So, what did you think about this movie? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more amazing stories like this. See you again in the next video.